best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that McConey Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at McConey Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, McConey Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to McConeySetupShop.com and learn why McConey Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at McConey Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Rock. Practice just finishing up here for the Stars and Cars of the iRacing Sprint Car Cup. Making a visit here to this 1 mile oval, we'll call it. iRacing has it measured at 0.97 miles. The official measurement from the track says 1.017 miles. We're talking about probably the distance of 50 to 65 feet. It's a 1 mile oval here in Rockingham, North Carolina. We are looking forward to a fantastic night of racing tonight because this is the first leg of a now regularly occurring Tuesday night doubleheader. We'll have the iRacing Sprint Car Cup official series as well as the TNT All Oval PM18 series coming up as well. First, though, let's tell you a little bit about The Rock. As we mentioned, located in Rockingham, North Carolina, just over 1 mile in length. Turns 1 and 2 banked at 22 degrees. Turns 3 and 4 banked at 25 degrees. It was one of the first racetracks to feature kind of a D shape to the oval. And that D has significantly more banking than most racetracks that we see. First opened in 1965 as a board flat 1 mile oval. It was reconfigured in 1969 to the familiar layout we all know and love today. These sprint cars are stock block pushrod engines, 410 cubic inches of V8 American iron. Nothing better that you could want under the hood of a race car. making 820 bald eagles to the direct drive transmission out the back end. 90 inches, 1,475 pounds. These things have torque for days. And that's probably the most polite way that we can say that one. Rules of the road for tonight. This is round number 8 of the 2001 Sprint Car Cup season number 2. Race distance is 25 laps. Caution laps do not count in the iRacing Sprint Car Cup. Lap cars head to the back for every restart. Qualification is your best of 2 laps. Since we may not get to this one at the end of the show here, depending on how long this race goes for, we'll get you the upcoming schedule here as we get ready to go to the grid. Next week, we're at Southern National Motorsports Park, where we will be hosting our first annual Little 500 coming up here in just a few weeks. We'll get you some more details to you on that on our social media channels. Make sure you like us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch, all at National Racing Network. And on Twitter, we are at the NRN TV. After Southern National, we're going to head to Lucas Oil Raceway Park, where a lot of the sprint car teams are traditionally based, Indianapolis, Indiana. And then we're going to head to round number 11 at Concord Speedway. Can't believe our first season of iRacing Sprint Car Cup coverage is pretty rapidly drawing to a close. Let's pick up the car of Josh Bautista. He's one of the 3 drivers that has not completed a qualifying lap. He got 1 lap in the books, 22.07 seconds. Makes contact with the outside retaining wall on lap number 2. That'll be the end of his run. Spencer Steinman put in 2 laps. Contact with the wall on both of those laps means he will have to start from the rear. Same, I believe, is true for Michael Barry as well. Mike showing just 1 1/4 laps completed. Any contact with the outside retaining wall will negate your qualifying lap. Talking with some of the drivers earlier in the race here, or earlier in the night, I should say. Drivers seem to be more concerned with tire wear on the right front. It's going to be on the entry and the exit of turn 2. Tire wear is going to be fairly low. The issue was really going to be tire heat. Once you get the right side tires up over or right in and around 300 degrees, that is a world of hurt for those drivers. So they're going to have to absolutely manage this in a pretty big way. Field getting ready to move out onto the starting grid. You'll see them drop into the screen here. Let's get you the starting lineup. Ryan Sellers and Derek Love will make up row number 1. Jeffrey Stanton and Rich Foreman in row number 2. Stephen Mastro, Nick Nebben in row 3. Joe Adams, Mark Hefner in row number 4. Dan Smith and Jim Vig will make up row number 5. Row 6, Steven Spears and Justin Critelli. Row 7, Donnie Stallbitz and Jason Steinhurst. Connor Rockwood, Ron Quinzel in row number 8. Shunsuke Tashima out of Japan. Josh Bautista out of Canada, going to make up an all-international row number 9. Wally Reardon and Brian Payne in row 10. Stephen Dion, Spencer Steinman in row number 11. All alone at the back of the field is Mike Barry. And as we mentioned, Steinman and Barry are going to have to start this race from the rear of the field. Just waiting on the number 3 of Connor Rockwood to get loaded in. Everybody else ready to go here. There's a good look at Ryan Sellers at the front of the field. Once again, 25 laps the distance. Caution flag laps do not count, so it will be 25 green flag laps
These drivers are very, very concerned about how the cars are going to react on light fuel loads, especially the deeper they get into the run. As the field gets ready to roll off, I want to remind you during our live broadcast, you can comment with stars if you're watching on Facebook. Show us a little love that way. We'll post your comment if you leave one with it and give you a shout out as well. See Racer Seth checking in, saying hello. Accelerator on YouTube saying props to anyone who can drive this car, especially at this track. Yeah, this one is going to be an adventure for sure. Hearing anywhere from half to three-quarter throttle is going to be the quick way around here. You may not get to full throttle at any point during the lap. See everybody starting to get those tires warmed up. Fantastic field of cars here tonight. 23 cars. 29 is what is required for a second split. Absolutely love seeing a big full field of cars here. Watching in practice gives big-time Winchester Speedway vibes. This place is incredibly fast for these cars. We've put together some special camera angles for you tonight. Hopefully you're going to enjoy them. Field makes their way down off of turn number 4. Ryan Sellers going to lead the field to green. We're underway here at the Rock. Lap number 1 is in the books, and it's going to belong to Ryan Sellers. Field getting single-filed out pretty cleanly here. In fact, the gaps are at least a quarter of a second, except for this battle back in the pack. This is going to be Connor Rockwood fighting with Steven Spears. Rockwood looks to the inside through 3 and 4. He's going to try to bring the 11 of Josh Batista with him, and he does so. Oh, looks seeing a little bit of smoke here. Caution flag is out. We've got a mess towards the front of the field. Looks like Rich Foreman may have been involved in that one. Let's get everything queued up here and see what may have happened to Rich Foreman here. The Hot Shoe Race we're in sweep by. Oh man, that was a little bit of net code it looked like. And unfortunately for Rich Foreman, that one's going to be absolutely ugly. Let's see what happens here. Got it loose up into the corner. Big hit into the outside retaining wall, and he goes for a wild ride. Get you one more look here from the roll bar of Rich Foreman. That was an absolutely massive hit for Rich. He quickly takes the tow back to the pit area. And without backup cars here, that one may mean that his night is over. So under caution, we're going to pull back the timing and scoring screen, at least if we remember to here. That way you don't have to see all the jumbling going through here for the way iRacing handles caution laps not counting. Laps here are very, very quick indeed. I tell you what, doing the math here, 21-second laps 174 miles an hour, the average speed for these sprint cars around Rockingham Speedway. Oh my goodness. That is hauling the mail in an entirely unique kind of way. As we mentioned, this is the first leg of the doubleheader for tonight. Coming up right after this race concludes, we will have the TNT PM18 All Oval Series. Indy Pro 2000 machinery you see here on Thursday nights. This series runs only on the ovals. 24, 25 cars registered for the full season. The racing is absolutely incredible out of that series. We're looking forward to bringing you that one. But first, we got sprint car action coming up here. Ryan Sellers jumps out to the early lead over Derek Love. He's going to battle with Jeffrey Stanton. Oh, caution back out on the speedway. Very, very quick caution. May have been an issue here for Dan Smith. Let's take a look here. Get you the onboard with Dan. Oh, yeah, big time contact. And that was in front of most of the field. Smith going to try to get that car circled around, but it's just not going to happen. So, unfortunately, he's going to have to take the tow back in here, but excuse me. Yeah, Smith just a little over-aggressive on the restart. That's going to wad up a bunch of good race cars about mid-pack. A little bit of what the concern was heading into tonight's race. And these cars, cautions breed cautions in a very big way. It can be an absolute mess if they're not able to keep these things straight. We'll get the comment up here on the screen first, then we'll come pull it up. Connor Rockwood checking in, saying he's the 3-car. How does the front end look? Well, let's take a look here and guess the front end of the car looks all right. Mark Hefner checking in. Mark getting back into the car for the first time in a couple of weeks here, saying that didn't last long. Yeah, unfortunately. So we'll head back to the front of the field here and pick up your race leader. Or at least the leaders towards the front of the field here. Lights are still on the iRacing safety car. Mark checking in saying that the track is different from what they practiced on. They went from an overcast track to a sunny track. That's going to increase track temperatures in a very big way. These cars that are already pretty setup dependent and a bit sketchy to drive at times, I would not want to run this place in the full heat of the day, that is for sure. Let's get you a look at the weather condition. Track temperature 77 degrees, 85 degree track temperature, 77 degree ambient. A little bit humid. Winds out of the south at 8 miles per hour. They're calling it partly cloudy, but I don't know about that. This is a ton of blue sky over the racetrack tonight. That's also going to make the issues with tire heat that we mentioned in the pre-race. That's going to absolutely come into play here in a very big way. Also, the tire temperatures are going to be a little bit tough to deal with there as well. Pace car brings the field off of turn number 4. Green flag's going to go back in the air. See if we can't get some laps logged this time. Side-by-side battle into turn number 1 quickly dissipates. Joe Adams able to grab the spot. He's going to have Justin Critelli looking up on his back bumper. This race is absolutely going to be a battle of attrition and making sure your car is there at the end. Fastest lap of the race just set by Ryan Sellers, 21.64 seconds. Derek Love only about a tenth back in the second position. Derek was a little bit of everywhere last night in the Silver Crown race we had here on the National Racing Network. Slide back just a little bit. Here's a side-by-side battle. Nick Nebbin, Steven Mastro going to duel into turn number 1. Once again, Ryan Sellers going quick lap after quick lap. Let's slide back in the pack here, pick up this 3-car battle. Big old tag slapper there on the outside for Josh Batista. Mike Barry in that one as well. Batista got a big chunk of the outside retaining wall off of turn number 2. Actually, that was the 17, I believe, of Brian Payne. Batista there in the black number 11. Mike Barry, Spencer Steinman get a battle side by side through turns 1 and 2. Let's give you the rundown here through the front of the field. Ryan Sellers is your race leader. Pretty sizable gap. In fact, it's right about 1 second over Derek Love. Love running in the second position. Currently running in the third position is Jeffrey Stanton. All 3 of those cars have held serve from where they started this race tonight. Just back behind Stanton and closing in is the number 6 of Nick Nebbin. He's up 4 spots from the drop of the green flag. Man, these things are just so quick through turn number 4. Already approaching, in fact, past the halfway point now. Lap 14 of 25 on the scoreboard. Nebbin and Mastro. Their fight was pretty good earlier on, but Mastro now 2.5 seconds back of Nebbin, currently running in the 5th position. Jim Vig about 2.25 seconds back of Mastro, but this is going to be the tightest duel on the racetrack. Vig, Adams, Critelli, and Rockwood. Vig holds on to the spot. Nebbin comes around. Stanton ahead of him in the pack here. That's going to move Nick Nebbin up to the 3rd position. Jeffrey Stanton falls back to 4th, and Nebbin's going to work now on Derek Love. If they're going to want a piece of Ryan Sellers, though, this one's going to have to happen pretty quickly here as Nebbin clips the outside retaining wall. I can't believe he was able to keep control of that machine. Stanton starting to catch back in. "170-mile-an-hour sprint cars here at the Rock." Oh, man, big wiggle for one of the lap cars down there to the inside. Oh, that was not a lap car. That was the one. That was Ryan Sellers. Change for the race lead. We got to get you a Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Man, that was just a big moment for Ryan Sellers, but that's going to put him back to the third position. And we are under caution. Trouble on the racetrack for Jason Steinhurst, it looks like. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay here. This is 22 machine down to the inside. Oh, contact with Mike Barry. 17 going to be involved as well. Several cars are going to spin there, but doesn't look like any major damage. We'll see if anybody is flipped upside down the wrong way here. Looks like everybody able to continue and pull away from that incident. There's one guy who wanted to see that caution. It's probably Ryan Sellers. He's at least going to have a shot here late in this race. Once again, as a reminder, coming up next here on the National Racing Network, 10 p.m. Eastern, the all-oval PM18 series from the TNT Promotions crew. Really looking forward to this one. The PM18s at Phoenix with the open dog leg. These guys are going to be running all over the place. We'll take a look here. Derek Love going to be your race leader in the number 7. Able to grab the race lead when Ryan Sellers had an issue on entry to turn number 3. We'll see here. Should get the 1-to-go signal this next time by the start-finish line. Only 17 minutes into this race. We're already on our third caution of the race, but the laps tick by in such a hurry here. Give you the full field rundown here. Dan Smith and Mark Hefner, first 2 cars out of the race, they will finish 23rd and 22nd, respectively. Steven Dion will be 5 laps in arrears to the race leaders, currently running in the 21st position. 2 laps down is Rich Foreman. Rich currently running in the 20th position. Brian Payne looks to be out of the race, but Rich has not caught up to him yet in laps completed, so Brian Payne's going to hold 19th, but he is out of the race. 18th, Wally Reardon. 17th, Steven Spears. 16th, Jason Steinhurst. 15th, Ron Quinzel. 14th, Mike Barry. Good run for him. Shinsuke Tashima in 13th. 12th, Spencer Steinman. 11th, Josh Batista. 10th, Donnie Staubitz. 9th, Jim Vig. Justin Critelli restarts 8th. Connor Rockwood 7th. Joe Adams, Stephen Mastro, Jeffrey Stanton, Ryan Sellers, Nick Nebben, and Derek Love brings them back to the green flag. Top 4 going to go single file through turns 1 and 2. Not just going to be the top 4, though. It's going to be the top 6 that are going to have a piece of the action here for the win at Rockingham. Love has to back out of the throttle on corner entry to number 1. Nebben had to grab the brakes not to run him over. Off at turn number 2. Battle for the race lead is on. Nick Nebben to the inside. He's going to grab the race lead into 3. Ryan Sellers now going to go to work on that number 7 of Derek Love. Love's going to have to leave the inside lane open. Sellers is going to come through, and Jeffrey Stanton might get there with him as well. Lap 22 on the scoreboard. Still Nick Nebben in his lead, about 0.4 of a second over Ryan Sellers. Best thing that Nebben can hope for is a big battle here down the back straightaway. It's starting to form up here. Jeffrey Stanton tried to make the big move inside. Oh, now here comes the big dive bomb by Stephen Mastro. Love's going to get squirrely. Big tank slapper down the front straightaway. What a save, Derek Love. But that's going to drop him back to the 5th position. Stephen Mastro, Jeffrey Stanton now going to battle side by side down the back stretch. Two laps to go here at Rockingham. Mastro forces Stanton up the racetrack just a little bit. Pretty sure Jeffrey Stanton's not going to be all thrilled with that. He tries the crossover down the back straightaway. The battle for the race lead is, well, quite frankly, not one at the moment. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for Nick Nebben. We'll stay with this battle here for the moment anyway. Down the backstretch, this is the fight for 3rd, but the battle for the race win. Off of turn number 4, checkered flag in the air. Nick Nebben picks up the win here at Rockingham. Ryan Sellers comes home 2nd. Jeffrey Stanton able to hold off Stephen Mastro for the 3rd position. 5th will be the 7 of Derek Love. What an absolutely fantastic race here at Rockingham Speedway. A couple of cautions throughout the race, but this one was a ton of fun to watch. Getting the sprint car up on one rear tire, doing the donuts on the front stretch. That is outstanding. Here are your results. Nick Nebben by 0.6 of a second over Ryan Sellers. Jeffrey Stanton comes home 3rd. Stephen Mastro, Derek Love, your top 5. Connor Rockwood, Joe Adams, Josh Batista, Spencer Steinman, and Jim Vig, your top 10. 11th place, Mike Barry. Fantastic recovery for Mike. He's up 12 spots. Actually, not the hard charge of the race. That one belongs to Spencer Steinman, up 13 spots to finish in the 9th position. 12th place goes to Shunsuke Tashima out of Japan. Coming home in the 13th position is Donnie Staubitz. 14th, Steven Spears. 15th, Ron Quinzel. 16th, Wally Reardon. 17th, Justin Critelli. Jason Steinhurst, 18th. Rich Foreman, 19th. Couple of laps down after his early incident. Stephen Dion finishing 20th. Brian Payne, 21st. Dan Smith, 22nd. And Mark Hefner rounds out the field. So we'll head over to the Discord server here and pick up our race winner and our 3rd place finisher as well. kick things off here with Jeffrey Stanton. And Jeffrey, we're getting a look here at your last lap duel with Steven Mastro. That had to be a little bit even beyond sketchy, trying to do that on low fuel and pretty well junk tires.
It was intense. It was tight at the end a little bit on the heat cycles, but it was just intense. The whole race was intense.
Yeah, this place was unbelievably fast is maybe the right word. I mean, we're looking at average speeds of 170 miles per hour possibly around here. That's absolutely insane in a car that doesn't want to drive in a straight line.
Yeah, it's intense. I'm going to actually look at the fastest lap race from my end. 161.5 average.
Wow.
So insane speeds.
Yeah, you're hauling the mail, that's for sure. And it was a fantastic run, a good points night for you as well here. So who would you like to thank?
A lot of parts of Rockwell, North Carolina, all my supporters, and National Racing Network for broadcasting.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you
You're
very
doing
much.
awesome.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate the shout out there, brother. Hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Hope so, too. Everyone has.
Sorry about that. Cut Jeffrey off a little bit early there. Let's pick up our runner-up finisher here tonight, Mr. Ryan Sellers. Ryan, you had a heck of a night here. You were out front early on. What happened going into turn 3 that set you back?
I just didn't miss my mark going into 1, and definitely felt the effect of it on out of 2. Tapped the wall a little bit and had to gather it back up and lost a couple spots.
And in a race that's this close, I mean, how close the lap times were tonight was pretty incredible. That was all it took to go from first to almost 5th and then have to fight back.
Yeah, it was definitely tough for sure, and I'm glad I was able to halfway recover, especially after last week.
Well, you had a fantastic run this evening, and hopefully the points are looking pretty good for you here as well here. Carrying the number 1 plate tonight as the highest I-rated driver in the field. I would imagine that kind of has to be a concern that you can lose a bunch here in a hurry.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, after last week, I lost a bunch on that race, and I finished 16th, and very unfortunate to lead most of the race and have an incident that happens that gets taken out. But glad to rebound this week and finish in the top 3 and able to salvage some points and continue on the points chase.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations once again on the top 3 finish here, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Sounds good. Thanks for broadcasting, and I'd like to thank DRR Speedworks, Larry Construction, and Rich Foreman Photography.
There you go, bud. Yeah, thanks. Sorry about that. Usually try to get the sponsors in for you.
Right.
So, hey, congratulations once again, bud. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Chris.
So there you go. A fantastic night of racing here as we're going to go back to live coverage here and get you the static shot views around this beautiful Rockingham Speedway. Coming up next here on the National Racing Network, round number 1 of the TNT PM18 All Oval Series. That one is an incredible mouthful, but you're not going to want to miss the racing here from Phoenix Raceway, going from North Carolina to Arizona in the span of, about 11 minutes or so. SpaceX doing incredible things here. But with that, we will wrap up our coverage here from The Rock. For everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name's Chris Graham. We will see you in about 20 minutes.